It's a sunny day, it's the end of February, and today's video is all about garden progress and spring plans. It's been great to get on outside today. The sun's been shining, you can hear the birds singing, there's been motorbikes out, people cutting the lawns, just starting to feel like spring might be on the way. Now I know we've got some colder nights coming up, colder days, but just a bit of sun certainly makes everything feel better. And I haven't been able to do a lot outside over the last couple of months, mainly because of the paths. They've just had that much rain that they've got really muddy, and it's been hard to actually do anything. So, walking through, first thing you'll notice is the tree ferns have got a lot of brown fronds. Now I did look at this in a previous video. Unfortunately, it's pretty inevitable when you have lots of -3s to -5s. It's enough just to brown them off. But it's not the end of the world. They will put out new fronds in May, and at that point I'll chop off all these sort of old browning fronds, and they'll look as good as new. The actual plants themselves will be fine, I'm sure. So, heading out, this is the jungle clearing area. And at the minute, you'll see I've got the Gunnera, they're the Gunnera manicatus in there. They're covered by those pots, which isn't really necessary. You can just cover them with their own leaves, and they are pretty hardy. But the main issue with having so much rain in the early part of winter is that the leaves started to go black and just rot through. So I used a bit of extra straw and put the pots over the top, just as an extra insurance against the cold. All the tree ferns are now unwrapped, apart from a bit of straw in the crowns, but hopefully I shouldn't need that, and we don't have any more freezing temperatures before summer, but we'll see. And in there, the moves of our stew. That banana I've kept wrapped up, pretty much because I only wrapped it for the cold spell we had earlier this month, and it seemed like a bit of a shame to unwrap it. It seemed like I was tempting fate, so I definitely don't want to do that. Hopefully there's no more cold on the way and I can unwrap it in a few weeks, but a few extra weeks with a bit of covering shouldn't be a problem. I've got the pot on top to keep the rain out, and the fleece is fairly breathable. So, looking back, you'll see today's job of widening this border out. Dug the soil over, and that's mainly just so I can get an extra layer of summer planting in front, like the cannas, the bananas, coleus, colocasia, just so I can really create that depth and that really exotic sort of vibe. I don't really want to be able to see the fence, and hopefully that'll happen this summer. Now the reason I've left this quite wide is purely because these Gunnera are going to get very big. The leaves will probably reach maybe the middle here, so I don't want to make it too constricted in this area. The general sort of design is that the garden closes in then opens up, and this is one of the wider parts. So, heading on forward then. This is an area, I wanted to really create quite a dense planting area here, just to make this area feel a little bit more, sort of enclosed like its own sort of area. And a lot of these are variegated plants with cream or white edges to the leaves. Phormiums, cordylines. Again, plants, these are the hardy evergreens that should be fine most winters without any sort of protection. Another back there, we've got Fatsias, bamboo, lots of ferns, and all those will take plenty of shade, so I can have the summer plants grow in front of them without those losing out. So as we're walking through then, you see there's lots of planting gaps here left for cannas, dahlias, lots of plants have grown from seed this year. So this section here is the bamboo walk, and I've been lucky enough that I've got some sleepers given to me. So whilst the plan for both this sort of walkway here and the previous jungle clearing is to actually pave them, what I'll do this year is put some sleepers in as edgings and potentially just get a few bulk bags of bark chippings just so I can save a bit of money, and I can cover the whole area for about £100. It's not the actual paving that's the expensive bit, it's getting all the crusher down, getting the mortar and everything that makes the job complete. Got no idea what Max is doing in there. Who knows? So, over time, these bamboo plants here will fill out. On this side, I've mainly got the clumpers, which I bought and planted as quite small plants. There's a few large runners there. Then on this side, you'll have noticed, these are the running bamboos, which will have a large rising barrier dug in around them. Again, it's a bit of a money issue, but it will be sorted. I'm not daft enough to leave bamboos like that without putting a barrier around them. What are you doing? Disgraceful. You don't get that with Monty's dogs, do you? So, this bit here that's dug out, the plan for that was actually to have a central plant as a sort of focal point when you're coming down this area here. But as much as that would make sense from a design perspective, I actually enjoyed playing with Max and just kicking his ball down here these last few sunny evenings, and I think putting something there, it would sort of take away from that. So I've changed the plan a little bit. I'm going to bring this border out a bit here, and then that side a bit more out there, so it sort of disguises the path and you can't see right through to the end of the garden. Now, one thing that has moved from here are the insulation boards that I got for the floor of the greenhouse. Those have been moved to the other end of the garden now, out the way, and that has opened up the space pretty massively. So one thing I did realise with this is that I had a small bamboo that I've now moved over to this side. Now I know that will get big in time, but it seemed like it's a bit of a waste of a prime planting area. There's going to be really good sun in this area. As you can see, that's west, that direction, so a lot of that late afternoon sun will be going straight into this area. You've got the protection of that tree there. So what I'm now thinking is put some more of my tender or slightly more borderline feather palms here and finish off with some more tropical planting. The other thing as well is, because of that conifer there, the ground's actually quite dry here, and as a result a bamboo wouldn't really be happy. They enjoy the moisture and a rich soil, whereas if I put grasses and other palms in, they'll tolerate it a lot better. So heading on through then, this is my Jubeae island. And that's done really well over winter, no winter damage at all. And the same on my Pinus patula next to it. Now the reason I've raised this up is purely because plants like agaves, the Jubeae, they all do better with really good drainage, and whilst you can add a lot of grit, if you just raise the level of the soil, it has the same sort of effect. So those should do really well. And again, you can see no winter damage. That's Agave montana, which is one of the best varieties you can grow here in the UK, and can tolerate a lot of winter wet. Max is starting to get a little bit bored now. Come on. Right, so this side here you'll see I've got Butea, Erius Pather, a couple of Tetrapanax either side of it, and this is one area that I might add a few more plants to. We'll just see how it develops this spring. Another bamboo there, and that marks the end of this section of the garden and a move into the next. Now you'll notice there's a large mound of turf and soil there. That will be moved. There's a gate in that fence there, so what I actually want to do is extend this bed a little bit across to the left, put some more palms in, maybe another agave, perhaps a vatifolia I think. I love the blue colour to them, and I've got a few that are ready to plant out. And looking round, this bit here is going to be my raised bed with my Jubeae, the volcano palm which is currently over there, and this cerifera, and a lot of yuccas, agaves. It's going to have full sun, full exposure, really good drainage, so it'll be the best chance that a lot of these plants will have. And also, being at the end of the garden, it's going to get colder, it won't get as much water, so these plants can really thrive on that. Or if not thrive, definitely tolerate it. These are my yucca rostratas. As you can see, they look amazing in the sun. And those will be going at that side of the garden there. Those slabs are basically the back of my raised bed, and the front will be a curved section, so those will probably go somewhere around there, but you really got to use your imagination for that. And this section here, this will be the sunken fire pit. I'll try to get it dug out this spring, but we'll see how it goes. Those are miscanthus grasses which are ready to go out. They just need chopping down before the new growth starts coming out. So, heading carefully through then. You see the rough plan here is to move those plants into the border on the left hand side, and then this section will be quite empty, and this is going to be my main sort of tropical border. So it'll cover up that fence. I really need to improve the soil, add a lot of manure to it before I plant anything into it in May, but it should look pretty great, and again it will get full sun so the plants will go nice and big. Now one thing is probably a personal sort of taste preference, but I don't like it when there's tropical plants with the big leaves like bananas and cannas mixing in with the more spiky plants like yuccas, agaves. So I will be having a sort of buffer in the middle section here, which is why there's a bamboo there. And I'll put a few more palms in this middle area here just to sort of split up and divide between the lower jungle border on that side and then the raised, arid, spiky bed which will run all the way around on this side there. There's a eucalyptus there. Because this is west, it does get great sunlight, but the flip side is the wind's also quite strong from this way. So I'll put in a couple of eucalyptus and this bamboo here, which will hopefully help filter the wind a bit more. And you might remember this area from my budget gardening video. I put a lot of small plants in, a lot of trachycarpus, a lot of new bamboo divisions, and they'll hopefully grow really well this year, and we'll see big progress by sort of early summer. There's a lot that will probably get sold later on this spring, but it's been great to have plenty to choose from. A little update here on my Jubeae seedlings. These are the ones that have had to battle cold and the weeds, and as you can see they've still grown really well and they're looking green. And that's after several -5, so they are really tough plants even at that small size. So that's it for today. Just a quick look. My main plans for this spring are the jungle clearing area. I want to get some sort of bark chippings down, which is, like I said, mainly a sort of budget option at this stage. I want to get the bamboo walk finalised, get that sorted, get some sleepers in, and then I want to get these palms in the middle bed here, the big Jubeae bed. I want to get the palms in purely because I won't be able to lift them in once I've built the walls. So plenty to be on with, and then following that it'll be May and time to get out the summer planting, which is what it's all about. Thanks for watching, and if you want to know any more, just leave me a comment. See you soon.